Alright, you guys, so today we're going to be looking at the diet plan that won Chris Bumstead 6 Olympias, alright? So hopefully it's good and let's get into it.
Pressure make diamonds, so I'm covered in ice. Got me out for the whole pie. I don't want to slice.
What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be taking us through the exact diet that I follow to get insanely shredded to win Olympias. So I'm going to start with meal number 1. We don't call it breakfast. I'm going to get prepping on that.
All boxes getting checked off, cause that's what I like. Got wings made of hundreds, I'm about to take flight.
How many meals per day would you eat in prep?
Usually with around 6 meals a day, plus a protein shake. Near the very end, the protein shake would come out.
Why so many meals instead of fewer big meals?
When I was eating more meals and spreading them out more, I felt like my metabolism was revving up. And I was able to burn more calories through the day and use that food more efficiently. That's not really proven. People fight against that, but I noticed it firsthand that it actually works. So,
Yeah, people fight against it, but it's 100% true. Because fat loss in and of itself, right? Fat loss as a process, it's a stressful process. It is a stress, right? Your body is changing. Your body is in a state where it doesn't want to be. It's quite literally, you're telling your body that you don't have enough food, right? So it is a stressor, and you need cortisol in order to lose fat, right? So cortisol is an essential hormone in fat loss, right? So if you wake up and you intermittent fast for 7 hours or 8 hours, and you do that after like a whole night of sleeping and the day before, after dinner, this is just elevating your stress levels way past where they even need to be, right? So we just wake up, eat some food, bro. Like if you want to get lean, it's not gonna hurt you. The only reason intermittent fasting works, right, is because it's just a calorie deficit. Like complete normies will intermittent fast, and then they won't know it, but it'll just be a calorie deficit. And then they'll be like, oh, it's intermittent fasting that got me fit. Whole time it was just a calorie deficit. You're just eating less, you know?
meals as possible. It also helps to like spread stuff out so you make sure your nutrient timing is like efficiently spread throughout the day so you're always getting a little bit of intake of protein so you're not losing too much muscle. Alright, so bring me back to the prep days tracking this food. This meal is 375 grams of egg whites and 1 whole egg. It is quite a sad looking meal, but that's what it is. You're trying to get shredded, not enjoy your food. This comes out to 267 calories, 50 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, and 3 grams of carbs. So a lot of my meals were consistently around 250 calories, which is, even saying that number is so sad. That's like a portion of a meal that I eat now. But that's what it takes. I typically would eat this meal at any time between 7 and 8 a.m. This would be the first meal I would eat right after cardio. And then I would typically train after the next meal. So this was just get some protein in. That's all I was worried about.
Did you care about taste when you were in prep, or were you just eating for a purpose?
I mean, it was eating for a purpose, but because you're so
Hey, so far this is pretty based. I see he has the runny yolks. He has egg whites, which are, good for protein. So
hungry from
it's pretty good so far.
literally being starving for a bit in an extended period of time, everything starts to taste good.
What tips do you have for people as a 6X Olympia winner, for people trying to get as lean as possible?
I actually have a lot of tips because I was starving all the time, but I'm gonna eat this because I gotta get out of here and I'll save them later in the video.
Oats, it's all right. I wouldn't eat oats personally because I'm on an animal-based diet, which is just the healthiest diet. Isolate protein, I don't know what that is. By the way, if you guys want to learn more about that and learn more about fitness and have somewhere to just talk about your progress and stuff like that, join my community, first thing in the description.
In prep, you gotta be exact. My skill's not accurate enough. This would drive me crazy in prep, but I'm letting go of the obsession and the OCD, so we're gonna move on at 44.8 instead of 45.
Came back a little there for a moment.
My eyes are switching a little bit. Alright, so meal 2 was frequently my favorite meal of the day because this was my pre-workout meal. When I was down to really low carbs, I would only eat carbs before and after the workout, and I would use oatmeal. I could have had rice or whatever, but oatmeal felt like it held me satiated for a little bit longer, and I was allowed a scoop of protein a day for the most part of the time. So me being able to eat something that is chocolate flavored or vanilla or cookies and cream when I'm in like starvation mode tasted incredible. So I really enjoyed this meal. To get a proper amount of protein from a meat and not just powder, I would have a little bit of ground turkey, and I loved ketchup, but you can't have ketchup with all the sugar in it, so I would end up eating pico. So it would be 90 grams of ground turkey with a little bit of tomato, 45 grams of oats. These are the bowls that Bradley eats like fruit out of, and these were like my meal bowls. And then I put a scoop of protein in here, mix it up, and that would be my pre-workout meal. All right, so this beautiful meal came out to 362 calories. This is a high calorie meal. 49 grams of protein.
Bro, 362 is high calorie, bro. See, this is why I could never do this bodybuilding, like competing shit, bro. How many calories is he at? What is this? Okay. 88, 105, 160. I can't see the whole thing, but that's still crazy, bro.
5 grams of fat and 31 grams of carbs. I had a period of prep where my total carb intake was 40 grams pretty frequently, so this would pretty much be close to all the carbs I would eat a day, other than a little bit from either the tomato or some vegetables or whatnot, but this would predominantly it, and this would be my big satiating meal that I would have before going to workout.
You use the chest pieces idea for food. What are you actually moving around from one day to the next?
Usually protein would never change, and you would pull fat and you would pull carbs throughout. So I would start having carbs every single meal, a high amount of carbs, and then you'd start pulling those carbs one by one. Typically my last meal of the day would pull the carbs, be higher fat like salmon with just vegetables, and then throughout the meals you would just pull carbs until at the very end you're left with just a little bit of carbs right before your workout, right after the workout. Sometimes you pull the post-workout or the pre-workout ones, but really at the end of the day, it's you have a meal plan that you know your body's good on. You follow it to a T. Your body knows when the food is coming, what type of food is coming, and you're just pulling it away. So you're getting used to getting this amount of calories in this exact way, and also just less. So your body's burning more calories, you're consuming less, and then you get shredded over time.
You said earlier you had tips for people trying to get as lean as possible. What are they?
I have quite a few, but number one, because it would be revolved around this meal, is sleep. You lose 1 hour of sleep, your discipline tanks. And people
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I thought he was going to say something else, and I was going to say what he just said. But nah, your discipline, like, I feel like I just become a degenerate. Like, I just become a retard, bro. Like, sometimes I'll, like, if I'm on a cut, right? Sometimes I'll, I'll cook, like, I'll like, air fry some shit for, like, my little brother or something, right? Because he's, like, hungry. And, well, he's not on a diet. Like, it'll still be, like, something relatively healthy. It'll be, like, chicken or something. And, bro, I would low-key just, like, all right, I'll be like, okay, I could track it, and I'll dip it in, like, a fucking mayonnaise or some shit. And, bro, that shit adds up, bro. 1 tablespoon of mayo is, like, 100 calories, right? So it's, like, that added up. And, bro, that only happened when I had bad sleep the prior night. So it's just cooked, bro. Just get good sleep. Also, not only that, but it's just sleep is good. It helps you maintain more muscle and keep less fat. Maintain more muscle, keep less fat.
Don't understand that. So the worse your sleep is, the less sleep you get, the harder it is for your brain to make the decision to do hard things. Your willpower decreases, like, by fact. No matter how strong you are, it gets harder if you do not sleep. So sleep hygiene is so important, especially when you're dieting or trying to accomplish something difficult, because the more tired you are, the worse decisions that you make. So often in prep, when you're starving, it was already hard to sleep. So I would eat breakfast, often shower, and then nap, and just go lie on my couch in the sunlight and just, like, put my feet up and just lie there and just fall asleep. And I would nap and I'd wake up and be like, can I eat again? All I was thinking about was food. Good sleep, long sleep, restful sleep makes everything in life easier, especially dieting. So if you're someone whose sleep is off and you feel like you keep making bad decisions and your cravings keep getting the best of you and your discipline just sucks in terms of what you eat, rule number one, just try and sleep better, and that will help you, I promise.
Oh, it's like a massage.
2 full extensions, drive the elbows, boom. A little faster. 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, and 1 more. How, like, as you're coming down, you're driving your feet into the ground to push your back into the bench, driving through your feet into the bench, even on flat. Better. 2, 1, dead stop, go. 3, 2, 1, dead stop, go. 3, try to throw it off you. And go.
I'm gonna skip this part.
Yep. three.
The next meal.
Brings me back to Olympia prep, because I don't think I've had just plain fresh caught Alaskan cod. Age-old bodybuilding wisdom is you eat white fish to get thin skin. This meal is 100 grams of white rice, 200 some grams of white fish, and I got a little bit of asparagus in there, asparagus if you will. I used to put shredded lettuce in all of my meals because it added volume and no calories. But there's an outbreak and people are getting sick eating lettuce right now. I'm not trying to risk that right now. But this comes to 300 calories, 47 grams of protein, 29 grams of carbs.
You gave us the first tip for
The only reason the lettuce there will be necessary, like nutritionally, lettuce is completely dead. Like there's pretty much nothing in there that's like of any value. But I will say, like, if you're in a starvation diet like he is, it kind of makes sense to have the fiber in there. For most people, you wouldn't necessarily need this, but I get why he's doing it, so it's fine. And by the way, just to be clear, I'm not saying I know more than Mr. Olympia about bodybuilding and shit. All I'm saying is that, okay, let me explain my stance to y'all, like, before I even, before, some nerd, oh, but you think you're smarter than, Chris Bump, relax, all right? Let me explain. What I think is the fitness industry has lost the health part. And what I mean by that is, like, when you hear people talk about fitness or, like, the whole, like, content space, they say health and fitness. Search it up on Instagram, it's health and fitness. But, like, people just completely disregard the health part. I think it's important to be healthy as well, right? Like, a lot of bodybuilders, they'll just eat slop, they'll dirty bulk, which never works, by the way. Nobody's ever successfully dirty bulked. Most of the time, if they say they dirty bulk, they just track their calories well, and like dirty bulking just doesn't work, all right? If you're considering dirty bulking, it won't work, I promise you. Just track your calories on the bulk, do a 200 calorie surplus. But a lot of people with dirty bulk will kind of, just train like unoptimally. They will eat anything under the sun as long as it fits your macros, which that's one of the biggest things I hate. And then like they'll end up being fat and like unhealthy, or maybe they'll even be fit. But fitness alone doesn't determine your health. What you feel like on the inside, how your body functions, is what your actual health is. And so a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of, these fitness influencers, they'll be pinning trend, bro. Pinning TRT, pinning trend. Okay, whatever. You're a grown adult. Do what you want. Fine, right? I'm not even going to judge you for that. But then, when I will judge you is when you go and tell people, oh, you'll feel fine on, Cheeto Puff protein, like protein puffs, or you'll feel fine on some Cheeto, you'll have some cake, oh, have this, have that. They'll throw around all these recommendations, whole time they're on TRT, so they won't feel worse in terms of, like, energy, regardless, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're bulking and they eat some slop, they're not going to feel worse because they're literally pinning all types of hormones in them, so they're not going to feel it. And not only that, but it's just bad recommending that type of stuff. It should be health and fitness, not just fitness. And if you guys want to learn more about that, school community, first link in the description, or if you just kind of want to talk about it. But back to the video. Sorry for that little yap session, by the way. I don't usually yap like that.
What's number 2?
Probably honestly the most
I
important
don't know if I'm gonna finish this video, to be honest.
is setting yourself up for success, your environment and your schedule. So when I'm prepping, I knew exactly what I was eating every single day. I knew what time I was eating it. Having a specific routine that takes the thinking out of it makes your brain require less discipline to make the right decision. So if you have to make your life easier for you, you will be more likely to succeed. Don't rely on discipline, rely on systems and structures and routines, and set your environment up for success.
Justin, anything to add?
Don't be a skinny bitch.
Well, no, we're trying to be a skinny bitch.
Oh,
we're trying to get shredded.
Be a skinny bitch.
Think like a skinny bitch.
Yeah, smoking on his I swear really got me fried. I've been through a lot of swear, helps me clear my mind.
So prepping is really just eating egg whites and white fish, huh?
We were saying at the Trump, the last year I competed, and it was pretty hilarious because Trump actually stayed at my hotel while we were there. So there was like, what's it called? The security club? What are they called?
Secret Service.
Secret Service on every floor. They were on our floor. When you eat a lot of fish, you can't escape the smell. When I was cooking this, Courtney was like, oh my God, this is like prep PTSD. And when I cooked it in a hotel room, like pounds of it, like $200 of cod, you sweat out fish. Your whole house, your clothes, everything around you just attaches and smells like fish. Secret Service agent, literally 2 doors down from us. You get off the elevator and you're just like, whoa, the whole floor smells like fish.
Like, yes, because everyone's coming to buy probably all the fish. 3 pounds of cod and like 3 pounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this part. I don't know what they're yapping about. Okay, meal 4.
Running out of space for clothes in my closet. My favorite notification is
It's like rice and beans.
deposits.
Would you recommend people copy these exact meals if they're trying to get lean?
No.
Yes and no. Everything always depends. I feel like if you really wanted to get lean, this works, but it's definitely a very extreme version. Like if I just wanted to get leaner now, even myself right now, I wouldn't do exactly this because life is different now. I don't have as much muscle tissue on me. I don't need to get as lean. Like bodybuilding is the extreme of everything. That's why everything's so boring, so low calorie, because it's just optimizing as much as you possibly can. If you set yourself up with a diet that is too difficult that you're not going to follow, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. You might as well add calories in and actually follow the diet than start with a diet too hard that you're not going to follow.
Can you have...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people, what they do is they'll be in a higher deficit and they think they'll lose weight. By the way, I'm done with this video. Actually, I'll watch the rest of it. But a lot of people, they'll be like, I have a friend. He's like 6 foot and he's like 220 pounds. Every time he's like, yo, I'm going to go on a cut. I'm locked in. I'm going to do it this time. This is the one. This is the 3 months I'm going to do it. I'm locked in. This is the summer. This is my year. He'll say this shit every time. And then he'll go in 1,000 calorie deficit. And I'll look at him like, yo, why are you eating 1,800 calories when your maintenance is 2,800? That's, his maintenance is like 3,200. But either way, he'll be eating like 2,000 calories. And he'll just stare at me and be like, oh, I'm on a 1,200 calorie deficit. Do you think he ever succeeds? No, because that's not what actually, you're not going to lose weight like successfully on that. Right? Because not only will it tank your hormones, it'll tank your energy. It'll tank your discipline. Not tank your discipline, but it'll just make you less disciplined because you're starving all the time. You can't stop thinking about food. Right? Terrible for your metabolism. And your metabolism actually downregulates, by the way. When believe it or not, like cutting is the only thing in the world where doing more of it and doing it more intensely than what you already planned won't get you there faster. Like if you go past a certain threshold, your metabolism is going to slow down because that's how the body works, right? If you're in a starvation mode, you want to use the fat, but do so in a more controlled way. You get what I'm saying? So it's like your body would literally slow down the rate at which it's burning fat. And so what ends up happening is when you're in a large calorie deficit, you're literally in starvation mode, right? So your heart rate goes down, your body temperature goes down, your, like resting, like your wake up morning temperature goes down. Like all these things go down in order for you to use less energy. And when your body's trying to use less energy, you're just going to feel more tired. Therefore, you're going to be less likely to do the steps and get your 15K steps in every day. And therefore, you're less likely to end up in the gym. And therefore, you end up relapsing and having a cheat day. And then you go off the rails. Just go on a 500 calorie deficit. You'll lose a pound a week and you'll be okay. All right. So just follow that. And yeah, if you want fitness coaching, stuff like that, first link in the description. That's my community. I'm pretty much done with this video. I think he's just going to out for the rest of the video. I'm not trying to see meal 5 and meal 6 here. Let's see pro tip. Okay, I'm not watching that. Subscribe. That's pretty much it. Peace.